Alex Revell, one game to go this season. How are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, we're all looking forward to the game. I think it's a really good game for us to have as the last game of the season. I think that going to a big club, going to a big stadium, you've got to be at your best to go and get a result there. And we had a couple of days off, obviously after the hectic week that we had last week. But the players have come in the last 2 days, and it's quite easy when it's the end of the season to drop your levels and know it's the end of the season. But they've been really good attitude. The group, that's what you expect. So it's been a good week in terms of training, and now we've got one final trip to make to go and get 3 more points on the board.
And if you win, there's potential it could be a top half finish.
Yeah. We all want to be obviously higher, of course, but there is that we want to finish as high as we can, and getting into that top half would mean a lot to everyone, obviously, and that's the focus. The players seem really focused and back to having some energy. I think last week was a really tough week in terms of the games and fitting training and different things in, but we saw the spirit of the group in the second half last week of their willingness to run for each other and work to get a result, and that's kind of sums them up all season, really. So looking forward to it, and hope to go up there and put on a good show and get the 3 points.
And of course, Bolton, who would have been wishing to be a bit further up the table as well. What are they like as an opposition?
Well, obviously, I think it's been a frustrating year for them to miss out. But obviously, Shuey's gone in there and taken someone else's squad. So I presume there'll be changes there in the summer. But I think he's a good manager, and I think that he'll be frustrated that he hasn't got into that top 6, because a club that size should be there or thereabouts. But for us, it's a really good game to go to. I think that we can go there and go and enjoy what's been a positive season, and go and, like I say, just go and show people how good we are, and like you said earlier, it's about trying to finish as hard as you can and getting in that top half.
And it's another opportunity to see players that perhaps you're yet to make a decision on for next year.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the lone boys. Murphy obviously still injured, so Tay gets a good run in the team. But also we've got players here that are going to be here next year that we also need to see. So there's players that are out on loan that do we move forward with those? They know how we work. Can we see improvements in them? Can we continue to improve as a team with those loans? So we need to see that. But you don't just take one game in your decision. It's the whole season, and obviously what our aim is throughout the summer, what we want to build. So absolutely, but the team will be picked because we want to win. We've got a lot of players that want to play. We've got a lot of players that want to show that maybe if they haven't been playing while they should have been, but also that they want to be here next year. So it's a big game for us because, like I've always said, you've always got something to prove, and tomorrow's no different.
Last weekend we saw Louis Thompson forced off of injury. Is there an update on him?
Yeah, we've lost a couple. We've lost Lewis Freestone. Lewis Freestone needed an operation on his hand, so he won't be travelling. And Louis, we're kind of waiting for the news. It didn't look great, if I'm honest, and we're just waiting to kind of piece all the information together to find out how long we'll be without Lou. But he's a big bloke because he's been colossal in there this year, and he's a massive part of this group, and that's why we made the decision that he's here for another 2 more years. So that'll be it's a blow, but we've got people ready to step in. We've got people wanting to, like I say, prove that they should be playing. So two losses, because I think both of those players have shown this year some really good bits, and definitely helped the team. So apart from that, we'll be taking Ellis Bates with us again, because he deserves. He's trained with us a long time now, and we wanted to get him on last week, but circumstances, changed that, and then hopefully we can get him on the pitch as well.
I was just going to mention that Ellis Bates, he must have been knocking on your door a week to be involved this Saturday?
I don't think he's knocked on the door, but he's listen. He's a young lad that really impressed us in the FA Youth Cup with his energy and his quality on the ball, and we've worked tirelessly with him over the past few months. Neil and Scotty have been exceptional with him, and Doco, and unfortunately Doco picked up a little injury, so we haven't been able to put him in, and he would have definitely been in and around it. So we want to promote these players that are good enough, and Ellis has shown signs that he can improve. He can show signs he's got all of the attributes that you want from a fullback, wing back, however that may be. But we'll look to get him on the pitch because, like I say, his hard work that he's put in and his hours and that attitude to learn deserves as a reward, and then hopefully we can get him some minutes tomorrow.
And just finally, come full time tomorrow, is it a case of you're on the first plane out of here to have a break, or is there still work to be done?
No, the preparation starts for next season. I think that we'll have meetings next week, and talking to the players that we need to speak to. We've already started the work behind the scenes, obviously, to try and be ahead of the game. But it's a difficult market at the moment. It really is, because there's big money out there. There's big money, and we have to make sure that we spend our money wisely. We spend our money where we need to spend it, and we're all working together. Myself, Leon, the chairman, all the staff, to make sure that we find those players that make us better. But like I've always said, this squad is a tough squad to come into, because we've had so much success over the past few years, but also not in terms of toughness, as in we don't allow people in. You have to come in and have the right attitude. So there's ability out there, but we also have to make sure they match with what we stand for. And when we find those that have got both, then hopefully we can bring those types of players into the football club.
That's great. Thank you, Gaffer.